Hey, oh my goodness. Hey, how's it going? So, first look at my signs, please. Do the whole disclaimer deal. Okay, so, I didn't on purpose watch three. I watched two on purpose, two astrologers today, earlier. Or I guess it's yesterday now, because midnight happened. Oops. Excuse me. So, then I kind of dozed off and a third one was happening, so I kind of heard that one too. And they all kind of were saying the same thing, which, oh my goodness, I don't want that like that. Oh, you little... the thing that they seemed to all agree on was that we, human people, get to feel a little bit of relief. You know, again, I say this all the time, and let me just scold myself for doing that, because I said again without saying a first thing. And that drives me nuts when people do it, so I don't get to do that. But anyway, the astrologers, I felt like, had good news. Oh, yes. So, I always say, I'm in the United States. I'm going to try to confine my thoughts and opinions to what's happening here, which is not to say that stuff isn't happening elsewhere, but I'm here, so I get, like, information from here primarily. You know, it's that thing of talk about what you know. So, I know that people are freaking the freak out. Understandably. Man, I don't know what's up with my hair. One side acts normal, and then I get to the other side, and it looks like it's psychotic. I have redone it like 40 times. That's the best. Anyway. Felt like I had to explain myself. So, yeah, people are freaking out, understandably, and, you know, I responded to something Patton Oswalt said, and it was like, this is not going to be word for word, but it's going to be close. He said, if you're not going to sleep screaming and waking up shitting yourself, something. And I was like, I'm not doing that. And I specifically meant not shitting myself, but I didn't say so. It's just like a throwaway remark, you know, and someone responded and they're like, well, if you're not, you should. And I was like, whoa. Who are you telling me what I should be doing? I don't like that. I don't think anyone does. God, I don't sound good. What the hell's up with that now? Okay, well, anyway, yeah, don't do that, right? So, and he also was saying that I felt like it was like, you're not reacting right. You're not reacting enough. And I'm like, who's to say? And but I was like, yeah, well, you know, like you're making leaps, pal. You don't know, like I didn't go beyond you're making leaps, because that to me is enough if you understand words. So I think like a couple of days later, he came back, and I don't even remember really what he said. I was just like, you're doing it again. You're making these leaps about me, and stop that. You know, like, just stop trying to tell me what to do. And then I blocked him. And then I was like, you know, maybe it does not seem like I am responding to it appropriately. Like, it may not look like I'm freaking out. At the beginning of this, when the threat to Social Security first started, like I was talking about it on here, I wanted to get people to at least join me in like massing as a group and saying, we don't like this Social Security thing. And I was like, I will find representation. Like, no one has to do anything but hit the like button. No one liked to. Which, you know, it made me sad, but whatever, move on, because that's why I'm not much of a joiner, which I've also talked about before, because I'll join other people, but nobody ever wants to join me, which, like, say what you will, but for me, I don't like to feel ways that make me feel bad. Like, I don't like to make that happen to myself, right? But I'm like, this is important, and I know there's got to be other people out there in my same boat. I know there are, because you don't even have to be a recipient of Social Security. They also just have everyone's Social Security numbers. That's the same boat, as far as I'm concerned, but nobody wanted to get in my boat with me. I feel sad. But no lawyers responded at all. And I was like, really? Like, nothing? But remember, this is 2 days after the first interaction with this guy that was like telling me how I'm supposed to react. And no lawyers. Lawyers are like they may have had a stance regarding Trump. If they in the past had represented anyone or anything to do with cases against Trump, he's now going after them and making all kinds of threats and just being a complete fathead. Like, I don't know. I mean, the old soul stuff just gets right up my nose and bugs me, but sometimes I feel like I might be one, because I'm like so over this man's world crap. Like, I gotta dominate, and I got a legacy, and wah wah wah, big old honking loud, shut up. Just what, like, no one cares. Stop like showing off. You're just, I don't know, it's like everybody at the party waiting for, you know, like, kind of pretending to indulge in the 2-year-old's performance before they go to bed, or before the sugar winds down and they pass out. Like, whatever it is, you're just tolerating the presence of this child, and you just want them to peter out and go to sleep. That's how I feel about the war. That's how I feel about Trump. That's how I feel about Putin. Anybody that's out there like making everybody else upset, RFK Jr., him too, you're like an irritant to like everybody. Well, not just an irritant. Because of him and his big mouth, people are dying. Like, children are dying. They're like not, it's the vaccination thing. It's not allegedly, it's something that actually has happened. It may not even be that, I don't even want to get into that. All I know is that he needs to stop talking. That's not good. Because of, as a result of what he has said, people are deceased. Like, that's terrible. Strutting around all muscular and don't get me wrong, I'm cis. I'm hetero, but you know, some people are just like, I don't know, not my cup of tea, I guess. The way that acting, that behavior, ugh. Sorry. So, well, that took a turn. But anyway, back to my response finally to what that guy said, that like what I actually feel on the matter. And what I said was, Have you not heard that people grieve differently? Like, it may not look like grief to you, but you don't know what's going on, like, in people's heads, and hearts. And it's not just what happened or what could happen in regard to me and everybody else with the Social Security thing. It's like a whole lot of other stuff, too, that, I mean, it's like a just deliberate implosion plan, it's deliberate sabotage. It's exactly what it looks like. People are not saying it, and why is it happening? Allegiances, like, pretty much, and money. Pretty obviously that. So, that is kind of like where my mind is when it comes to looking at these things, and maybe why my reactions differ from other ones online about it. And also, I'm not gonna like go deep into the depths of like dread about this, because as bad as it gets, stuff always ends. It's when you like give up, I hate to say the fight, but when you give up, when you have the attitude like you're overtaken and there's no point in even trying anymore, that's when you are losing, So trying to always have my humor, and beautiful things to look at, animals and art and music and things like that, and just remembering to have all of that stuff as well, like this whole like scary negative stuff just came in like on a wave. If you're on the shore of somewhere, like this nasty dirty wave has come in and is like, it's coming, it's gonna keep coming for a while. It's been though, it's not new. Maybe it's a surprising new version, but I think the surprise is our reaction to it. I don't think that the dirty wave is new. But I also said I have a different perspective. Like we all know the sun is gonna rise every day. Like that's kind of like a symbol of hope in a saying, But it's true, as dreadful as things can feel or actually become, it's you can't just give into it. Even if it's mowing you flat, you want your last expressed breath to be fuck off, basically. So, and also, I actually totally believe that we have, reincarnation. And so when you apply that to the situation, you know that you have done it before. And also there's supporting evidence, if you're willing to believe it, in the metaphysical community. Many voices will tell you that you have done this thing before. In fact, it's kind of why we are here and why we're doing it again, because it takes more than one effort. Like, oh my God, so many millions of years. But I don't know, I guess every permutation must be experienced on a level somehow. Wow. Where did I go? I got lost. But yeah, I mean, it's, I listen, I'm not saying I don't freak out about stuff. Like, sometimes stuff just gets to you, like, I get the dryer of thoughts, I call it. It's like racing thoughts, but just around and around and around the same thing. And it looks a little different, but not much, because it's the same thing. It just is, keeping you up, or just, what I'm saying. So, but you got to put it in perspective, because you can't, I can't live there all the time. That makes headaches and stomach aches happen. 1 second. So I decided that I'm not done. So I've been noticing that I've been feeling lighter, and various metrics like astrology have sort of been making a shift. Like, actually, I think I was gonna say it like it was something small, but we had those demonstrations, and those are gonna keep happening, so that's great. They were huge, and people weren't hurt, and didn't require a lot of police action that you had to hear about for days and days or months on the news and be sad about. It was very good. So more of that, I think, is gonna come and needs to happen and is good. So I have some cards, and it's the wine core cards, but that's not actually what this deck is called. What's it called? It is, it's probably, no, it's not on these. It is actually called, here's what it's called. There. I don't have to say it. I don't have to act like there's 40 children in the room and I have to spell out the curse word. Boy, that's getting on my nerves. I waited a long time, it feels like, as a child, to be able to grow up to be able to say whatever the F and F I want. Like, I don't even like to do what I just did, but I do want to still be able to do this, so I don't want to abuse the privilege. All right. So, first card, with a license to chill. Highly meditated. It helps. It really does, I have to say. I don't know what your practice is, but you know, I mean, for best results, I think you do it every day, right? I think the length of time you do it, I mean, you have to do it for a little while. You have to at least reach the state, get in the zone for a little while. But since the beginning, when I started into this sort of area of interest, the whole metaphysical thing, I heard people talking about meditating. Like, I think Steve Noble was one, and he was saying that at first he meditated for hours and hours and hours, and the gist is that it feels great, but you don't need to do it that long. Like, it's not like required to get the desired results. And then after that, I've heard a number of other people say the same thing. So it's only recently that I've gotten to the point where I can just sit there for 2 hours, but I can do it, and it feels great, and blah blah blah. But yeah, I mean, except for the fact that I have the time to do it, and like I said, we all have our ways of grieving. So, you know, when I feel out of sorts about all of this, that's what's made me be able to sit there and meditate for 2 hours. But boy, does it help. And there's so many other benefits from it than just the calming effect. There are connections that just start happening in you that have been sitting there waiting forever to join. Anyway, in the next card, it says, "There's better shit on the horizon." And on the other side, wow, I cannot talk today. On the other side, it says, "Give that shit up." So, Yes, if the shit you have now is not good shit, give that shit up and get better shit. There's better shit on the horizon. That's true. Many frogs until you find your prince, or words to that effect. Pencil it into your schedule. The power of serenity now. I can dig it. I mean, you have so much going on, right? And it just seems like if you have like a lot of things on your schedule and you feel like stressed and tied to it and, you know, stuff like that, I could see how it would just like ease you a little bit to just be all, it's optional. I'll pencil it in. Like, maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. We'll see how I feel. And I think that is a good feeling to have when you're stressful. Like, we'll feel like you have some kind of control when you're like feeling locked into a situation and it's stressing you out. You want to be able to feel like you can move around a little bit freely, you know, have a little bit of agency. And so, I don't know, that was just what came to mind for that one. Never a bad idea to cultivate calm. Behold the field in which I grow my fucks. Lay thine eyes upon it, and see that it is barren. Not much of a agrarian on that front, but, you know, there, you know, what is the word that I want? One word can have more than one meaning, right? So, maybe calm is not a physical crop that you grow in a field. Maybe you cultivate calm by staying in a highly meditated state, and then what you grow, the growth from that is in your soul, you know? And for me, it's like that calm you get from meditating is not, has not been in my life like situation normal all the freaking time at all. Like, no. But, please pardon my indiscretion there. Sorry. But what the meditating is teaching me gradually, slowly, because I'm stubborn about it for some reason, is the calm feels a whole lot better than the other options, like getting mad super fast and freaking out, or getting scared, or get, you know, the negative column. I would like to stay out of that as much as possible, just because, I mean, it feels better in the calm place. So, yeah, it's a good reason to cultivate that calm. Don't let dumbasses get you down. I guess I could have said that in the beginning and saved myself a lot of breath, huh? Here's a very cute creature, symbolic of slowing the F down. Chilling like a boss. The only thing I have to say, and I'm afraid I'm gonna, I guess, have to move to the negative column here, but I always am wondering how boss became like the word to describe the cool guy, because I've had a lot of bosses, and I've had some really great bosses. I've had some great bosses that I am friends with to this day. However, they are not the majority of the experience. Like, most of them were terrible bosses, to coin a movie title phrase. But it's true. We got a lot of dumbassery and other fuckeries and assholeries out there happening, and it is in our nature, I think. Excuse me. Well, I mean, not 100%, but some of us, it is in our nature to respond in kind. And that's kind of like a bully thing, you know? Like, I'm hurt and I'm mad, so I'm going to find someone that I can hurt and, you know, take out my anger on. And that's kind of a dumbass thing to do. And I feel like it's not, like I said, the dumbassery is not confined to the United States, because our lead dumbass is taking it everywhere and depositing leavings of his passing. And gosh, it's like, my goodness, people are like, this is a great idea, I want to get behind this, like a lot of people. And you got to hear them talking, and they're in your face, and they're wrecking stuff. However, I feel like there are a lot of really short-sighted decisions that have been made, and now some of that that term that is all the rage today, some fuffoing is happening. Like, not only was there screaming and yelling about what a bad idea tariffs would be, there was other issues with this. There, a lot of people were trying to convince people, like, there's a lot of good reasons not to vote for this guy. And so I wondered, even before he started talking about tariffs the way he is now, like, just his regular patter is so... I'm not like a business person, I'm not a math person, but I listen to him talking, I'm like, that will kill a business. That is such a bad idea. Like, that's gonna have like big profit right up front, but then it's gonna peter out, and you're probably gonna have like your clientele all mad at you. I mean, there's all of these things that you could see, you can forecast, and yet a bunch of these people, these rich people, these people with these corporations that kind of depend on our patronage, this guy's out there making it so we can't patronize stuff. You know, he and his appointees and things are just like... People are talking about the stock market as just big red downward arrows for days. I'm not into that either, but even I can see, like, what you're talking about, what you're proposing is going to cause big red downward arrows in the thing you seem to care a lot about. Like, okay, so, like, I feel like the lead guy is not very learned about a lot of things. I think that they have a talent for sniffing out funds. Like, they just, I don't know, like, they got a talent for that, but not necessarily in the most legal ways of doing things. Like, that's well known. That's not their practice necessarily. I'm just saying, there seems to be a lack of scruples there, which I like that in a leader in particular, but generally in people. I like authenticity and people that don't steal from you and lie to you. Like, am I crazy? I don't think so. And then there's the whole thing where it's not just them doing stuff and me personally having a reaction, or just you personally having a reaction. It's happening to all of us. Like, if it happens to one of us, somehow it's in some way gonna happen to somebody else near you, or maybe even far away, because I don't know. Events carry like sound over distances. Seems pretty like elemental stuff, and I'm like, why are you guys like agreeing with to this stuff? I don't know. There's too much that is like speculation, and we just don't know. But there's a lot of stuff happening that you can see, that you can look at and go, that don't look good. That looks like that could lead to some real cuck-a-doodie. And boy, don't we get to experience that. We get to, don't forget. That's that other perspective, you know? I mean, if you can take that at all seriously, it really does make it, I'm not sure easier is the right word, maybe somewhat easier to kind of get through the day when they're crazy days, when it just looks like, oh my God, how could this possibly get worse? And then it does, and you're like, you're having that mind blown emoji moment. But the thing is then it's over, and like, you know, something down the road you know is gonna happen that you gotta prepare for. But isn't that always the case? Like, do you not always buy toilet paper? USA. I know other people, other countries have. Anyway, toileting is a very, it's all over the map. All over the map. Anyway, but don't you always like buy toilet paper in anticipation of running out? Just regular old preparation stuff, you know? So if you're looking at the world, or your world, you know, wherever you live, and you're looking at your politicians and what they're doing and what's happening and what used to happen and what they have said before they get installed into the office, and you're dismayed, I just want to say there's more going on than what's on the surface. What's on the surface is to keep you busy, you know? And oh my God. In conclusion, I don't know if I should link this or not, because it was so sad, but it was the Jimmy Kimmel like monologue section, or some part of the show before the body of the show starts. And it was the man on the street portion, which is, I can't believe that they actually do this. Like, hosts of talk shows go out and expose exactly how stupid Americans are, because that's what happens here on these man on the street things. And if you have seen enough of them, you will notice that the ratio of people that can make sense to the people that are complete nonsense, there's more nonsense talk. So today they were in Florida, and there was a woman with white hair, like elderly, wrinkled, like you could tell she was at least 70. And they asked her a question about Ben Franklin. And here's what a lot of people get wrong because he's on money. They think he was president, and he wasn't president. It wasn't that question. It was something else that he also wasn't, though. And this woman, and I can't remember what it was now. That's why I'm saying maybe I should link it. But the thing is it's in all this other stuff. It's a long clip. I'm just saying, man, you talk to these people, and most of them were young, and that's typical. That's always been the case on those things. Like, the young people don't know stuff. But I was really shocked at the older woman. And also, she wasn't the only one that was, like, up there that didn't know, like, I don't know. It's like burned into my brain with a brand or something. And I'm like, how do you not know that? It's kid stuff. I don't know what kind of life they lived. Sorry, I don't want to call somebody's grandmother a crackhead. I better stop. Thank you and good night.